Hi, my friends. I must have gone back and forth 50 times over the last several days as to whether I wanted to jump on here and give you some of my thoughts about what happened last Saturday in Israel. The Hamas crew flies in on paragliders to a music festival in southern Israel. And this music festival was all about peace. And these terrorists, that's the best you can call them. They're really, these savages came in and killed hundreds of people, which included babies, families, the elderly, and without any remorse. As a matter of fact, they were bragging about it. They were showing on the individuals' Facebook pages who they killed, what they did to them. And I can't even imagine another human being being able to do that to a human. I just can't. And then not too long after that, there were 30 student organizations at Harvard who came out and were saying that this whole thing was the fault of the Israeli people of Israel. And that they thought that it was justified. And I don't know how many of you know this or not. It doesn't really matter. I went to Harvard. I went to Harvard Business School. And I'll tell you, a gal like me from northeastern Colorado who grew up on a farm with maybe 1,700 people within a 50-mile radius, didn't go to any special schools, came from a fairly poor family. The likelihood of someone like me getting into Harvard is slim to none. And when I was accepted to the business school, I was really proud of myself because I went there with a snowball's chance in hell of getting out with a diploma. For those of you who don't know, 10% of the class at the business school is on a forced curve, which means that 10% of the folks don't make it. And it was highly likely that I would be one of those 10%. But I went there with a lot of determination and a lot of discipline and a lot of pride in the fact that I made it there. And I did. I graduated with a diploma. I didn't flunk out. And to have gone to an institution where there are people, kids, students, and professors who are signing letters indicating that this whole savage terrorist attack that was rained down on Israel a week ago is appalling to me. And what many of you don't know, probably, with the exception of those who follow me who were in my class at Harvard, there was this guy in my class. His name is Bill Ackman. Bill and I sat 10 feet from one another for the entire first year of Harvard Business School. Now, Bill went on to become a billionaire. He owns a hedge fund called Pershing Square Capital Management, and he's been very successful in his post-Harvard career. I can respect that. He's put in a lot of time and energy and effort and gone through a lot of trials and turmoil to get to where he's gotten today. But he came out earlier this week and he said with the support of other CEOs, that he was going to get a list of all those kids who signed those letters from those 30 organizations at Harvard. And he was going to circulate that list to make sure that CEOs all across our country and other countries as well did not mistakenly or inherently hire any of those students who signed those letters. And I'm here today to agree with that. I wholeheartedly agree with that. That anyone who thinks it is okay to treat another human being like Hamas treated these Jews in Israel is a savage, just like the terrorist. And they belong in no organization in this country whatsoever. I feel strongly about that. And the other thing I have to say is, I think corporate America needs to stay out of politics. I really do. I think if you're Nike and you sell tennis shoes, be about selling your tennis shoes. If you're Coca-Cola and you sell sugar water, go sell sugar water. If you're Lululemon and you sell yoga pants, stick with that. But to get involved in Black Lives Matter and all the political things that they do, the trans movement, etc., you're out of your lane. Your responsibility is to hire the best people and make sure they aren't of savage mentality. That's your responsibility. So I just wanted to jump on here and share with you some of my thoughts about these, particularly these Harvard professors and students who signed these letters, and to acknowledge my classmate and my section mate, Bill Ackman, for his courage and his foresight and his willingness to gather around him other CEOs and profess that they will not hire any one of these students who were signers of these letters. So that's what I have to say today. Since last Saturday, I've been very sad and very disappointed in humans that can see any good in these monstrous attacks on these Jews in Israel. And so for all my Jewish friends out there, I'm with you. My prayers and thoughts are with you. Israel's not a very big country, and you probably know people who were murdered. And so I pray for you and your friends and your family members. And if you don't know what's going on in the Middle East, I invite you to get informed. It is your responsibility to be informed, because don't think that these people aren't in our country as well. And it's just a matter of time before we will experience some terror in our own country. So you need to be informed about it. You need to plan for it, and you need to be ready for it. Don't bury your head in the sand and think that this will not touch your life in some way, shape, or form, because it will. So take good care of yourselves. Have a good weekend. Go out there and inform yourself about what's going on in the world. Treat other human beings like you would treat someone you loved. And as always, keep your ass in the saddle. Have a kick-ass rest of the day. And I'll talk to you again soon. Take good care. Bye-bye.